Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, uh, we're taking a deep dive into Mac Miller's final studio album, Swimming. And, there's just this certain weight that comes with listening to it,
Mm.
knowing that it was released, only a few weeks before he passed. It hits different. It's like, almost prophetic in a way,
Yeah.
like a look into his personal journey.
Yeah, it's like you're right there with him processing it all. But what I find so fascinating about swimming, is that it's not just about the struggle.
Right.
It's about growth, evolution, not just musically, but personally too. You
Yeah.
really feel like you're listening to Mac grappling with life's big questions, trying to find balance amidst the chaos.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
so real, so raw. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit, starting with Come Back to Earth, the opening track. What do you think, what's Mac trying to convey here?
Yeah.
What's the message?
Well, for me, I think Come Back to Earth really sets the tone for the whole album. That line, I just need a way out of my head, you know? It just hits you right away. It's like the thesis statement for the whole record, like
Hmm,
this acknowledgement of his internal struggles, this yearning for some kind of peace.
totally. Yeah.
And the production, too,
Yeah.
those hazy synths, almost whispered vocals. It all comes together. I don't know. It just emphasizes that feeling of searching for something, searching for solid ground.
It's like he's inviting us right into his mind from the jump. And then musically, too, right?
Yeah.
This album takes some really interesting turns. It's not just straight hip hop.
Absolutely. I mean, Swimming really showcases how much Mac grew as an artist, blending all these elements of jazz, funk, soul, all into his own sound, his signature. It's like a reflection of his own evolution.
Like he's exploring new territory, not just musically, but personally, too.
Exactly.
Hurt Feelings is a perfect example of that.
Oh, yeah.
Almost jazzy feel,
Yeah.
to the chord progression. It's different, it's fresh. And then you got What's the Use with that Thundercat bass line. Ugh, it's just so infectious, so funky. You can't not move to it.
That groove is irresistible, yeah. But even with that, the lyrics, they still dive deep into Mac's self-awareness. He's recognizing his flaws, but at the same time expressing this desire to grow,
Yeah.
to become a better version of himself.
Right, like he's recognizing the darkness, but actively seeking the light. And then, oh man, then there's 2009. Heartbreaking, especially knowing what we know now.
Right.
So raw, you can just feel the emotion. Those strings, the piano melody, it's almost cinematic, like a soundtrack to his reflections.
Ah, John Brian. I mean, he's known for those lush orchestral soundscapes. It just elevates the song to another level. And Mac, he's looking back on everything, the highs, the lows, the struggle with fame, addiction. It's all there.
He lays it all out.
He does, but there's this recognition too,
Yeah.
that there's always more to learn, more to face. That line, it ain't 2009 no more. I know what's behind that door. I mean, that says it all.
Chills every time. It's
Yeah.
like he's stepping into the unknown, but accepting it.
Yeah. He's acknowledging the past, but he's not stuck there.
And that theme of confronting your demons, that really continues with self-care, doesn't
Yeah.
it? That two-part structure is so interesting, like a musical representation of this internal battle.
It is. And the way it's divided, the first part, it's so introspective, dealing with those self-destructive tendencies, that feeling of isolation. But then part two, oblivion.
Mm,
That signals a shift. It's like a sense of hope, a moving forward, even if it's into the unknown.
like he's acknowledging the darkness, but not letting it consume him. There's this fight, this fight for survival, both in the music and the lyrics.
Exactly. And that fight, that resilience, it runs through the whole album. Even in the face of everything, he's searching for balance, searching for healing.
Like in Ladders. On the surface, it's upbeat,
Yeah.
celebratory even, with that driving beat. But the lyrics, they're digging into something deeper, perseverance, overcoming challenges.
Ladders is interesting because, I mean, it's upbeat, yeah. But there's this, I don't know, this undercurrent of melancholy too, right? Like
Sympathy.
he's putting on a brave face, but still acknowledging the battle, that it's still happening. It's a reminder, I think, that even in the struggle, you can find moments of joy, moments of strength.
There's so much complexity there. It's not just, blind optimism. It's about seeing the darkness,
Yeah.
but choosing to focus on the light.
Exactly.
Even if it's just a flicker,
Yeah.
and then, oh man, Wings. That's going to be one of the most vulnerable tracks on the whole album.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
can just feel the raw emotion in his voice.
Fragile.
And those lines, I got a lot more to lose than you. Remember, I came here with nothing.
It's the pressure, the weight of expectation that comes with success. And there's this loneliness to it, too, this isolation. He achieved so much, yet he's still alone. Like, he's got more to lose than anyone else. I don't know, it makes you think. Like, even those who seem to have it all, they still struggle, you know? They
Yeah.
still feel vulnerable.
It's humbling. It really is. And then you have Small Worlds. It's so introspective, almost philosophical in its approach.
Right. Mac's lyrical maturity is on full display here.
It is.
Weaving personal experience with these, like, bigger existential questions. Lines like, the world is so small till it ain't. It just makes you stop and think, reevaluate your own perspective.
It's a song that sticks with you for sure. Makes you think about your place in it all. And then, leading into the finale, So It Goes.
A somber but accepting ending.
So what do you think? What's Mac trying to say with this closing track?
Well, so it goes. The minimalist production, haunting vocals. I think it's a reflection, you know, on the cycle of life and death. It brings us back to those themes we've been talking about, you know, finding balance, dealing with all the chaos, seeking acceptance. It's like a quiet meditation on those ideas. This final exhale before the silence. There's this, like, quiet acceptance in So It Goes that really gets to me. It's not about fighting, you know. It's about finding peace within the cycle.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a track that encourages reflection.
Yeah.
And when you look at the album as a whole, one thing that really stands out to me is the production. It's so thoughtfully done. It really complements Mac's lyrics. It's not just about the beats.
No,
It creates a whole soundscape and atmosphere, you know.
totally. It enhances the emotional depth of the music.
Exactly. Swimming showcases such an evolution in Mac's sound, blending those live instruments with modern production. It gives it this, like, timeless quality.
You're so right.
It's not stuck in any one genre or era.
It's like he's creating his own world, sonically.
He is. And it's so seamless the way he blends jazz, funk, soul, all with those hip-hop elements.
It's incredible.
It's like a tapestry.
And the collaborators, too. John Brian, I mean, come on. Known for his work with Fiona Apple, Kanye West, bringing his orchestral touch to the project.
It has a whole other layer, a depth and texture you don't always hear in hip-hop.
Right.
It's like he's intentionally blurring the lines between genres,
He is.
creating something totally unique, personal.
It's an experience, more than just music.
Exactly. And that experience resonated with so many people, especially those who connected with those themes of resilience, healing, self-discovery. And then, after Mac's passing, it took on even more meaning, didn't it?
It did. It became a shared space for so many people. Grieving, healing. They found solace in his words, his honesty, the beauty he created, even in the midst of darkness.
Man, it just speaks to the power of music, you know,
Yeah.
how it can connect us even in the face of loss.
It's a universal language.
And there's something about Mac's music, particularly on Swimming, that feels so human, so relatable.
He wasn't afraid to be vulnerable, to expose his flaws, his struggles. And that vulnerability, I think, is what allows people to connect with him so deeply.
It's like he's saying, hey, it's okay to not be okay.
Exactly.
We're all in this together.
It's that message of resilience, too. Keep swimming, even when the waters get rough.
It resonates, especially for those going through their own challenges.
It's not about pretending everything is perfect.
Right.
It's about acknowledging the struggle while still holding on to hope, believing there's light on the other side.
And that search for balance, for self-improvement, something we can all relate to. Swimming reminds us that growth isn't a straight line.
It's a process.
Ups and downs, facing your demons, finding your way back to the light. And I think what makes swimming so powerful is that it doesn't give you easy answers. It's about asking the questions, prompting reflection, encouraging you to find your own path.
To healing, to growth. It's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. And Mac invites us along for the ride.
He does. To embrace the complexities and find beauty in the chaos.
And you know what else is fascinating? How this album has sparked these conversations about mental health
Absolutely.
in a way that feels real, meaningful. It's not preachy.
No, it's genuine.
It's just honest, raw.
It's Mac. And that honesty, it helped break down the stigma.
It did.
It let people know they're not alone in their experiences,
And that seeking help is not a weakness.
but a sign of strength, self-awareness.
It's a powerful legacy to leave behind. And it goes beyond the music, doesn't it?
It does.
It's about impacting lives, changing the way we think about mental health.
His vulnerability gave others permission to be vulnerable.
And that's a ripple effect. You can see it in other artists, too.
So many artists who came after Mac, inspired to be more open, honest in their work.
Like, he gave them permission to break down those walls, be real, connect with their listeners on a deeper level.
And that authenticity is what makes Swimming such an enduring work of art.
More than an album.
It's a testament to the human spirit, the power of vulnerability, and that constant search for healing, connection.
It's a reminder that even in the darkness, there's always hope, always possibility for growth, transformation.
And we all need that reminder.
Absolutely. So as we continue exploring the depths of swimming, I'm curious, what do you think will be Mac's most enduring impact? What's his legacy?
That's a big question. Mac's legacy, I mean, it's so many things, right? It's the music, but it's bigger than that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's the conversations he started, his vulnerability, the impact he had on other artists.
Right. He changed the way we think about mental health. You know, showed us it's okay to not be okay, to ask for help.
To be vulnerable, yeah. And he did it through his art, which is even more powerful.
Right.
Swimming, it wasn't just a statement. It was like a conversation.
An invitation to connect.
On a deeper level.
And I think that's what his legacy will be, you know, that ability to connect, to make people feel seen, understood.
That's a gift, a real gift. It is. And, as we've been talking about swimming, it's hit me that this album, it's not just about Mac's journey. It's about the human experience.
Yeah.
Like all of us.
I think you're right. It's those themes, you know, struggle, resilience, hope, self-discovery. Those are universal.
They are. We all go through those things.
Yeah.
That's what makes this album so timeless, right?
It speaks to something inside all of us.
Something deeper. Something that transcends time and circumstance.
It's a reminder, I think, that we're all in this together.
We are.
Navigating life, looking for connection, reaching for something more.
And that even in the darkness, there's still that possibility,
Yeah.
Growth, healing, transformation.
Mac's music, it's like a beacon. Hope.
It is. It really is. So as we wrap up this deep dive into swimming, how has it resonated with you? What thoughts, feelings has it brought up?
For me, swimming is a reminder that it's okay to not be okay, to embrace the messiness of it all,
Yeah.
and never stop seeking that growth, that healing.
To remember that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. And that even in those dark times, there's always hope.
Yeah. Hope for a brighter tomorrow.
That's beautifully said. Swimming reminds us we're all connected. And by sharing our stories, we find healing, strength in each other.
That's it. That's it right there.
So as you keep reflecting on swimming, think about what resonates with you, the emotions it brings up, how it's impacted you.
And remember what Mac said, and so it goes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Life's a bitch, but, she's beautiful. Embrace it.
Embrace it, find the beauty, and keep swimming towards the light.
Keep swimming.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Mac Miller's swimming. Hope you gained some new insights, maybe feel a little more connected to the power of music, the human experience. Until next time, keep swimming.